Hello, everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode with your boys, Ricky and Larry. How's everyone doing? Larry, my man, how you doing? How you feeling?
I'm good, Rick. I'm good.
Yeah?
A bit
How's
tired,
things?
A bit tired, but it's apparently a 4-day weekend. It's a bit
Throws
tiring
you
for
off.
everyone. Yeah, it does. It really throws you off, and then you go to work, and it's like, what? Wait,
What
I
happened?
enjoyed
Yeah.
those days. Why can't I go back to those days? But no, I'm good, man. What about yourself? How's things? How's
Good, bro.
life treating you?
Life is good. Like you say, the 4-day weekend throws you off a little bit. You don't know what time of day it is or what day it is of the week. You're like, wait, it's Monday? Today Wednesday? What is going on?
Seriously,
you just
what
have
is
no
today?
idea.
Is it Tuesday today?
I think Tuesday today.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Champions League.
We've got some Champions League. Love it.
We've got
Chelsea playing tonight?
Chelsea tomorrow. But tonight's still a very big game. City versus Bayern. Guardiola versus Tuchel.
Oh, that's just got tasty written all over it.
I know, right?
That's like a pot noodle.
I know. That's literally it. But now I'm excited, man. Yeah, but to answer your question, bro, I'm all right. I'm not too bad. Obviously, the weekend didn't go as planned. Very disappointed. I know, but yours is still not as bad as mine. For mine, it's still very difficult to see what's happening, what is going on. Let me put that on silent.
That's all right. I mean, I'm glad that you've actually brought up Chelsea first, because I'll be honest with you. I mean, the Liverpool game, Liverpool-Arsenal, that was a great game to watch.
Fantastic game to watch.
And there was a lot to take away. Well, there was a lot to take away, because it was literally a tale of two halves. Both teams just performed or outperformed each other in either half. But I'll be honest with you, I'd rather just spend a little bit more time just discussing, the interim appointment of Lampard, because look, he had his chance. He had his chance there, and if you're going to bring in an interim coach, you might as well just keep the coach that you already had, because again, I only say this in hindsight after watching the Chelsea match.
Yeah, so you watched it, yeah?
Yeah, well, I watched bits of it, and then I watched the highlights on Match of the Day, and you know what? Even
You're glad you didn't watch the full match.
Yeah, even to the point where Match of the Day left that on as the last match to show. Do you know what I mean?
It was awful. It was an awful game. Really poor game. I'm sure Wolves fan obviously would disagree. They were very happy. Did you see the goal that
I saw the goal. That was a crap. Matthew Nunes, yeah. Hey, Mateus Nunes, wasn't it?
Is that his name Mateus or Matthew? Anyway, it won't be Matthew, will it? Because it's Portuguese, but yeah.
Mateus Nunes, but that was a cracker of a shot.
Goal. He hit really that was. So sweet as well. But
it was incredible.
We were second best to everything in that game. We were awful. We were very, very bad. And what I didn't understand as well is the players that he left on the bench, and N'Golo Kante didn't even make the team.
I'm glad that you segued into that, by the way, because that's pretty much the big talking point.
The starting 11, because if you look at so first of all, on his old appointment, I was like, okay, they're bringing somebody in just to steer the ship because this season is wrote off. I think I said that in previous episodes back in January as well. I was like, this season is gone. Like, we just see what we can do in the Champions League, but everything else is gone. And then, Potter started hitting a bit of form in March. Obviously, we won 3 out of the 4, drew 1, so unbeaten in that March. And you're like, okay, see what's happening here. Players are gelling. And then, that Liverpool game didn't go to plan. The Everton game, the Villa game. And then they sacked him, brought Lampard in, and I thought, okay, maybe, because there's rumours he lost the dressing room. This is Graham Potter. Lost the dressing room. The players are not respecting him, something we predicted a long time ago as well. And then when they brought Frank on, I thought, okay, I'll stay here. Maybe we'll see what he can do. JT will probably step up from the youth system. Ashley Cole will come in, get the legends together just to steer the ship for these final 10 games, 11 games, whatever there is. And then Lampard got interviewed, and this is the bit that got me on the lineup. He said, I saw the game against Liverpool, which we were pretty good, just couldn't finish.
On the Liverpool game, by the way, it could have gone a lot worse, but it was decent result. Like, you got something away from that.
Yeah, so we got 0-0, but like, we had chances, and I think even commentators mentioned, if you give these chances to Arsenal, they'll punish you, when obviously you did, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But the lineup itself, I just thought, when Lampard said, I saw the Liverpool game, I think I know what it needs. The game needed at Wolves was not to go 4-3-3. It needed a 3-4-3. Play the foot wing backs, get the confidence. Yes, okay, you're going to play Real Madrid, but we've mentioned many times before, these guys are professional athletes. They've got the best of everything. This is the elite level of sport. They don't need 72 to 96 hours to, do you know what I mean? To kind of like rest, like within 24 hours with the nutritions that they've got on, the hydro pools, all the equipment that they have at the training ground, it'll be better. Okay, don't get me wrong. You need to rest, but Not to the point where Chilwell could have played 70 minutes. Reece James could have played 70 and been brought off. Barry Sheila could have started because he's not going to play Champions League. Do you know what I mean? But why did Barry Sheila not play? And N'Golo Kante could have played for half 60 minutes. Why did he not play? You know what I mean?
I'm not. Obviously, you know that I'm not a Chelsea fan, but I saw that lineup. And just from there's no Barry Sheila, like you said, no Kante, no Chilwell, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, you put Conor Gallagher in the centre of midfield. This is just not right. This
Didn't make sense to me neither.
You're not going again. He's not moving forward. For me. If I was a Chelsea fan, that would just that would take any confidence that I would have, even the slightest confidence that I would have in Frank Lampard. Just looking at that lineup, I feel like that's it. It's drained now. It's gone.
Yeah, that's it. That's shocking, definitely it. Chelsea have got the players to play with 5 at the back. With the wing backs, we've got the players. Reece James has been one of the best. Chilwell have been. Two of them have been our best players and our most dangerous players going forward. In previous episodes, I've said Reece James is putting sweet balls in the box and no one to attack. If anything, don't change that. Just encourage players to get forward. Bring on Aubameyang, bring on David Fofana, the striker that they got from Belgium. Bring him on and just say to him, attack. He's not going to play Champions League football, just attack. Play on that. Keep Havertz on for 70 minutes or 60 minutes, you know what I mean? Or leave Havertz to come on second half. It felt like we were very, very slow. Maybe it was a new manager stuff. Maybe he tried to change too much too quickly. But all the great managers, I remember with Thomas Tuchel, I remember with Antonio Conte when he came on into the season and they were like, right, okay, let's see what this guy can do. And he kept the same formation as the previous manager because what the players were used to, and then slowly made the changes. You remember Antonio Conte did awful for Chelsea and then we got beat by Arsenal, I think 3-0 at first half, and then he changed it with 5 at the back or 3 at the back, and then we went on a 15-game unbeaten run and won the league that year. These are the things, like, take little lessons from everybody else and be like, okay, little changes, don't implement too much. And with 4 at the back, we were struggling. Reece James didn't get on the ball as much because the tactics didn't allow him. Enzo was on the ball, but nobody was moving. Silly mistakes here and there.
Just use it. Looking at that back 4, you got Cucurella, Koulibaly, Fofana, and James. Fair enough, James. Yeah. That's fine because that's standard. He should be, a starting 11.
He starts anytime. Yeah.
But to put Fofana over Badiashile and to put Cucurella over Chilwell, just looking at that,
I honestly didn't understand it.
I still don't understand it. It's. I get mad for you because I'd feel like, if it was my coach and we know what the best 11 is that Chelsea can put out.
We've seen these guys, yeah.
This is not it. To put Conor Gallagher in that centre instead of Kante.
That's the thing. That's the bit that annoyed me as well a little bit. And the thing is with João Felix, and I'm starting to think João Felix cannot play as a left forward or a right forward. He likes to be in the middle all the time.
How do you not finish with your left foot? You're
insane.
A professional footballer.
Yes, your left foot is better. Needs to be better than that, doesn't it?
That straight away. You can't control it in the centre of the box and not expect a defender to come to you.
That's it. This is the Premier League. We've mentioned it so many times. You do not have the time that you think you've got. And from January until April now, I'd like to think he's adapted to the speed of the game slowly. He must know that if I take a touch here in the box, I'm going to get pounced on. Instantly, there's going to be players on me. And it's just difficult. As a fan, it is difficult to see that. I'm trying to pick positives. There's not really many positives. Now I'm trying to think of the team that resting the lineup that he brought on Saturday. Is it because he's trying to bring in different players for the weekend? But I'm thinking the only different players is going to be is probably Chilwell and Kante. The rest of them will be the same players.
Exactly the same players.
Pulisic came on. He was weak.
I was going to say, potentially you can make a case for Pulisic to come on or an Aubameyang to come on instead of Havertz. But
Aubameyang's not in the squad. He's been dropped from the Champions League squad. He's not part of the squad anymore. So the only players that's on there is going to be literally Havertz. But for me, against Madrid, I'd like to play Mudryk again. I'd play Mudryk as the main guy like we did against the other teams when we were actually winning. Play Mudryk against Leicester where we won 3-1. Mudryk was at the top, so although he didn't do anything in terms of wow, look at what Mudryk did, he scared players with his pace. They were worried about him, so they dropped further back. They didn't allow that space. Because listen, he's quick. If the ball goes into him, you like to think he'll do something, although he hasn't proven it yet. But yeah, so just the fear of having him present. And then play João Felix and Havertz and tell him to keep swapping his 2 10s here, there and everywhere like a diamond shape or something. But I don't know. I don't think he'll do that. I think he'll try and be stubborn, naive as well. I'm going to use that word carefully, naive from Lampard to think he can come in and do a 4-3-3. And like you said as well, sometimes you've got to look at his credential. He got Chelsea into the Champions League when we had transfer ban, which was fantastic. Well done, Lamps. Gave the young lads a go. James, Tammy, Tamori, Conor Gallagher, Gailey, and all these players that got sold on as well. Lamptey, who's at Brighton. So yeah, he gave the youth a chance, but that's because he had no choice. Because the moment that we got the transfer ban lifted, he went and bought Werner, Havertz, Hakim. Do you know what I mean? So very soon, all of a sudden, everybody was like, Lampard.
Still play for you, Hakimi.
Hakimi's still there. I think he's
not
salty.
Hakimi, not Hakimi. What's his name?
Not Hakimi. I'm talking about Hakim Ziyech. So that's what I was just on first name. No. That's for the listeners. Not Hakim. He's still at PSG. He still plays right back at PSG. He's a very good player. But,
that's a player to have.
Hakim Ziyech obviously brought him on as well. Werner and these players came on, and yes, okay, he gave the youth a go and he gave them a chance, and some of them have made into they are now. Mason Mount, a regular in the England team, Reece James, and so on. But again, what I'm trying to get at is it's just you want more from him, and I just don't think he's got it in his locker. I still don't think he's got the experience to be able to quickly tactically change the game, see the game for what it is, and be like, actually, do you know what? I made a mistake.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with you swapping Conor Gallagher or taking Gallagher off or take Kova off.
Yeah, no one's going to hold grudges. No one's going to hold grudges.
Yeah, because if you win, everyone's going to be like, what a great genius that was, tactical genius. And if you lose, you say, do you know what? I made a mistake. That's why I tried to change it instantly. And then people will applaud you for recognizing the mistake that you made. Okay, people will be like, too late. But it doesn't matter. You recognize the mistake. You try to provide a solution.
That's right. Next time it won't happen, or if it happens next time, then it obviously becomes a different problem. But the thing is, maybe Lampard, maybe he got that job because it's more like backs to the wall. Like you said, when you had the transfer ban, backs to the wall, he did something, and maybe Bowley thought, okay, he could probably do a similar thing for me right now.
Yeah.
But I think
for Bowley. Sorry.
I just think maybe changing managers this late in the season is probably not the answer, because if he comes with the same, with poor results, Lampard comes with poor results, then who's at fault? It definitely goes down to Todd Bowley, right? I mean, this guy is literally,
that's it, yeah.
He's playing Football Manager, he's playing FIFA right now.
He's literally playing FIFA. He's playing Ultimate Team.
Yeah, because of respect. But look, the thing is, I said to you in the group chat as well, most of the players, they haven't seen Lampard play like we have. We're in our 30s and stuff. We saw Lampard from the beginning, so we know what type of player he was. Whereas these players now, on the money that they're on, the contract that they're on, look, when you put a player on an 8-year contract, by the way, I'm telling you right now, there's no way on earth that's going to really function that well, because they've got no fear. They're like, oh, shit, I'm still on the bench. I get paid.
That's it, yeah, exactly. Well, we saw what happened with Bale at Real Madrid. He was on 600 grand a week. He was like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to see out my contract. And he did. Exactly. And you can't blame him for that.
And
you can't blame him. No, that's it.
I feel like that's probably, again, that obviously remains to be seen up until the next couple of seasons, see how the players pan out, the one that he's bought. But so far, it just feels like they've neglected their jobs because of the contract that they're on. Like you said yourself, if you're on a 10-year contract, getting paid 500 grand a week, and he benches you, or you get on, you're like, all right, I'll pass the ball. All right,
exactly. And to these players now, if you want, I don't care. This is a job to them. They don't really care whether Chelsea fans are hurting or not.
That's
and I don't want it to become that mentality of now where they're going to turn to Twitter and say, "Oh, hard luck. We'll try again next week," and we keep going. Like we've seen players do before. But for me, at the minute, I thought with Lampard's appointment was to do with the fact that, okay, they didn't want to rush into a decision to appoint an Enrique or an Nagelsmann or a Zidane or Poch or anybody like that. So they thought, right, let's take our time with it. Okay, that's fine. You take your time with it. But surely you need to have these conversations before you sack the manager who's currently in charge of the club. And if you have that conversation with the staff, with your board of directors, whoever's in charge of firing and hiring, then you need to decide basically, okay, so if we sack him, we need to go for him. So let's have a chat with his representatives. Is he available? Would he be interested? This is what we've got, etc., before you get into that. And I know it's taboo and you shouldn't really do that while you still got a person in charge. But listen, anything can happen behind closed doors. At the end of the day,
it's scouting.
Took the words out of my mouth. That's all you're doing. You're just putting a scouting report together on a manager. Like, is he available? Is he not?
It's a future preparedness that obviously I understand. Bowley doing what he's done with the money that he spent and the contract that he's been on. But at the same time, you got to have a bit of brain about you. And I just feel like again, I don't know if it's going to happen.
I think his ball has gone in too quickly, hasn't he? Like he took over. Yeah. He wanted to see. He saw what Abramovich did initially, where he spent millions and millions, and then obviously that came success. But you've got to think now, those millions. Every team has got millions.
Yeah.
Arsenal have got millions because now they're starting to invest in their team. The Kroenkes, okay, do you know what? I'll finish what I need to do in America. Let me invest in Arsenal.
Yeah, they won whatever. Like, look at the stadium, whatever he's done.
Well, yeah, did all that, and then look, you bought Ben White for 50. Zinchenko cost you however much, I think 30 or something, like 30, wasn't it? 30. Gabi, and so on and so forth. So you've brought players in, okay, not to the extent of 100 million Mudryk and so on, but he's invested in the team. Similar for Man United, they went and bought X, Y, and Z, like Martinez, Anthony for 80 million, Varane, so on and so forth. City every year buying players for 50, 60, 100. So it's not really now like let's invest. It's good to invest in the team, but you need somebody at the top, a head coach who has the experience, who has the cojones, who has the strength and the backbone to be to the young millionaire, a young Mason Mount, a young João Felix, to be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, why are you taking on 5 touches when Havertz is on for a pass, Mudryk is on for the through ball, Chilwell is there ready for the cross? I don't want you to turn the player and then go back into the play. That's what happened against Liverpool. I touched on it before. He turned Konate, then he turned, not Matip, sorry, and then he turned back into Matip.
Yeah, he turned
and
back
Matip just stretched out a toe, and you're like, bro, like, just shoot with your left. Like, you literally at the penalty spot, just take a shot. The whole goal that Matip was behind, you turn back into him. And same against there as well. Like you said, why could he not score with his left foot? Like, what was going on with this lad?
That bothered me. That really bothered me because it was right there. He had that chance to actually, to actually finish that with his left foot. And look, to get paid that sort of money, and like you said, the coaches that you have, the managers that you have to train you, for you not to be able to use your left foot to finish a goal, like pretty much not guaranteed, but it was 90% there to be finished. That really bothered me because again, this is a player that is getting so however much. Again, let's not make it all about money, but at the end of the day, that's what it's going to come down to because Chelsea Football Club, Arsenal Football Club, Manchester City Football Club, they are businesses. They have to run as businesses as well.
That's it.
Obviously, they have to perform on the pitch and stuff like that. But
that's why they get their success, don't they? If you perform on the pitch,
he obviously wanted, like you said, he wanted to jump directly into that Abramovich role. But it's like, well, look, Abramovich spent what he spent over the span of like 15, 16 years. Do you know what I mean?
And don't forget though, Abramovich also had Mourinho, didn't he?
Season, and
Abramovich had Mourinho. About 600 million would probably cost that much now with flipping Didier Drogba, Ian Robben, and the players that they brought in that season. But you got to remember, who the manager in charge at that point was a European champion. Just won it six weeks ago.
Respect, yeah. Someone who
demanded and obviously,
respect.
If you won Champions League, you walk into any dressing room, you're like, right, lads, we're going to do it this way. Because nobody's going to be like, oh, but manager, coach, don't you think we should? No, shut up. Like, we've just won the Champions League my way. We're going to do it my way. And, it proves with Mourinho. There's Chelsea fans out there calling for Mourinho now to come and just steady the ship.
Steady more because apparently Frank's gone in there and he rocked it a lot.
No, it's not going to happen, is it? It's like, to be fair, Frank, if he does something, it'll be great. And it'll be great to see for Frank. But the likelihood of him doing something is very, very little. Like, if Chelsea win the Champions League right now, it'll be the greatest moment of Frank Lampard's career. I know he's won it as a player, but as a manager, it'd be the greatest moment of his career, and it'd be the greatest win for Chelsea as well. Under the
peak at that
stuff
point
that we've got, exactly. But is that going to happen? Likelihood of that happening? Not really. Against Ancelotti, against Bayern Munich, Thomas Tuchel, against City, Guardiola with Haaland up top, against Napoli. I can't. It's very, very unlikely. Listen, there's a chance because we're in it, and it's more chance than any other team who's out, of course.
Absolutely.
But the chance is very low.
Sure. Yeah,
very low.
I think with the Champions League run, it would definitely be great. But at the same time, would that warrant a Lampard to be the manager next season? I don't think he would.
Look at Di Matteo. Di Matteo won it after Villas-Boas. He won it in 2012, but we won it in the penalty shootout, which is fine. Winning is winning. But then the next year, he got an extra contract, like I think 2-year contract afterwards. But like by October, November, like he had to go because again he couldn't do anything. He was unable to do something.
League football is definitely a different beast than tournament football, like a knockout football, like Champions League is, for example. It's a different beast, and obviously Lampard's proven it. Oh, sorry. Not proven it in this case because obviously he had Chelsea, he did what he did during the COVID, during the transfer embargo and all that kind of stuff, but then went to Everton, didn't do anything. He literally took them further where they didn't need to be. And I'm not saying that's going to happen with Chelsea because there's going to be executives that are going to be on that straight away, and they will splash any sort of money to keep Chelsea from being relegated, which I don't think that's going to happen, obviously. But
no, we're closer to relegation zone, closer to the bottom than we are to the top 4 or to the top or one or the other. I think it was. I saw something the other day like this stat. The thing is with Lamps, like he did very well that season when he took over Chelsea. Like I said, Champions League. Okay, got sacked. Thomas Tuchel came in. Then he took the Everton job and he managed to save them from going down. Fantastic. But it's like the second year, like he struggles to know what to do the second year, struggles to adapt, struggles to put things together. Ideas, that's the word. Yeah, perfect. He just runs out of ideas. After 6-7 games, he's like, okay, let's go back to the first game and recycle that first game again. But really, you need to keep adapting because these elite teams are going to have coaches and going to have scouts who come and watch your game and be like, oh, he's done the same thing as he did game 16, week 17, week 27, and now let's play Chelsea again and see what we can do. But I'm hoping a good result, obviously, to recap on everything else on Chelsea, because you can tell I am disappointed. I've kind of vented on the things that have disappointed me. What I'd like to see is a strong lineup against Madrid. I'd like to see a united front again, which the players will do. The players will do all right, all the young lads. For me, obviously, Mason Mount hasn't played. I know some of them talk about him being TG Smith and Lampard's son.
He wasn't well. I thought I saw something on Instagram that he was dancing with some presenter or something like that. I'll send you a link on that later.
Oh right, no, send it. I heard that
recently.
He was ill. He caught what Virgil had. He was ill, like a cough, cold, something related to that.
Oh, the Klopp special where he takes the players off because he wants to. He doesn't want to like ruin them even further.
That's it. Yeah, the club special. No, he was injured. Joking aside, no, he was injured. But I don't want to see him play in this starting 11 because I'm worried he might start. He hasn't featured for so long. Keep the same again. Kova, Enzo, and what's his name? N'Golo Kante. Or keep N'Golo Kante and Enzo Fernandez. Allow Enzo to go a little bit further forward. And like I said. Mudryk at the top, play Mudryk, left João Felix or Havertz, and then right João Felix, and just get them two to interchange all the time. Just change around. Come drop as a 10, then move. So effectively, you're playing 5, 2, 1, 1, and then like somebody on the left or right, just to confuse the defenders to keep going. Because Vinicius Juniors is going to be a problem.
He is. I mean, it's going to be. I mean, Reece James could potentially handle it, but if he's obviously tasked with running forward,
it's just his speed.
It's the technicalities of Vinicius Junior are just unparalleled. Sometimes you think, damn,
he's fantastic. He's been amazing. He's been amazing for them this year. But I like to see a 5 at the back, though, bro. Like I like to play with 5 at the back. Koulibaly in the centre. Play Cucurella again. No problem again with him playing. Play him again in the left of the defenders. Koulibaly in the middle. Wesley Fofana right. Reece James, Chile as wing backs, Enzo and Kante in the middle. Kante is sitting, Enzo moving more forward, a bit more creative, and then the front 3 that I just mentioned. And I think that for me is a very strong team out of the possible players that we've got and available that could possibly play this game.
I think with the front 3, they're definitely need to be a bit more dynamic, interchanging with each other. But maybe Havertz can't do it on the left, maybe he can't do it on the right, that type of stuff, But then, look, it's something that for Chelsea. For the Chelsea squad, the striker is 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, is the player that is needed the most right now. Because again, it feels like there is no focal point where players can be like, all right, our goal is to get to this guy. Because in a way, look, with Havertz, as good as he may be on paper, his teammates are watching him and thinking, oh shit, is he the guy that we've got up front? And again, I'm not saying that is the case, but sometimes it feels that way because he gets the ball, he doesn't do much, he's too weak, that kind of stuff, and so they lose confidence in their own teammate, and the ball goes to him, and it's like, this guy again.
It's easy to do. Like we've played 5-a-side, 7-a-side, and sometimes you stop passing the ball to the guy who keeps missing, or the guy who keeps losing it. Or you just say, right, mate, can you go in goal, or can you go in defence? But you can't do that in elite football. But yeah, we're laughing because we both remember times when we've done that with people and our teams. But with Havertz, I think he's just getting a bit slow at the minute. I think his decision making is being a little bit slow. Don't get me wrong, very talented, can finish, but I needs to be a bit quicker. Needs to pick it up. Same as João Felix, just quicker on the ball, quicker decision making. Touch it, get rid of it. Don't try and do it too much. I don't know what's going on with the two of them at the minute. They just seem to be cute, as I mentioned last episode. So but no, I've got nothing else. I've got nothing else on Chelsea.
Last thing I'll add then, maybe with someone like Lampard, maybe he needed to spend more time, as a shadow of a big coach. You know what I mean? Like John Terry, for example, he hasn't had the responsibility of looking after a first team, but he's been around enough managers to understand what's going on. So he knows the backroom side of it, and potentially when he jumps into that role, like, you know, the sort of
that's it.
first team coach, then I think you could probably do a little bit better because he understands it more. Whereas Lampard, it feels like it's Lampard, England legend, Chelsea legend. So definitely he's going to be the guy to do it. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. You know, you need to prove yourself. You know what I mean? It's like Wilshere, for example, former Arsenal player, jumping straight in. If Arteta left, jumping straight into it and say, well, because he's an Arsenal legend, that doesn't mean he's going to be a good coach. He's not ready for that yet.
I totally agree with you. And I think, like you say with Terry, when you shadow somebody, you can see the daily ins and outs.
You see the mistakes. You see the good things of it.
You see the mistakes, and you can be like, if I was in charge, I would do this. I would approach it like this.
And then if the coach, other coach does it that way, and then it doesn't work, you think, okay, so that didn't work. I'm glad that I saw that. Try a different way. So again, you've got more time to think. As a first-time coach, you have to be straight on it.
Same as Stevie. Both of them just did their coaching badges, and then they went straight into management. Lamp started at Derby, and then Stevie went straight to Glasgow Rangers. And one of them had the better experience with European nights.
Over there, but
over there, of course, Lamps did well, got him to playoffs, but obviously couldn't get him to promoted to the Prem. And then he got the Chelsea job. But listen, it's hard being a Chelsea fan right now because everything is going wrong from top to bottom. We're investing, which is good to see, money being thrown at it, but sometimes you've got to start thinking, is money well spent? Because out of all those players that have come in, I can guarantee 60% of them are going to go on loan come the summer. Because he brought in about 12 players.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. At least 7 of those have to go on loan. Ready, just be prepared for the next season or whenever they're needed.
To Premier League teams as well. Loan them out to Prem teams, lower level, in and around Chelsea.
Well, I mean,
because I'm saying lower level, but we're 11th. But
I was going to say, we said there's no such thing as a lower team. It's just how the table falls, and you've seen it yourself. Not even forget the Chelsea where they are now. It's just look at the table, look at the bottom 10. It's literally, we're talking about a hair's width separating them. 2 good games for Southampton, for example, and 2 bad games for Leeds or whatever. That's it. They're going straight back up again.
The difference between 12th and 20th,
and that's more enjoyable sometimes because the top 4 kind of decides themselves. Obviously, the top 2 will decide themselves. The other two on the top 4, that's going to be a good battle. But then after that, I don't care about midfield. About mid-table. I care about the bottom of the table. I want to see what happens at the bottom of the table. So,
to be fair, it's so challenging, and so competitive. It's between, like I say, between 12 to 20th is 2 points, 3 points separate them, and the goal difference as well. So you say, it's going to be very, very interesting to see as the weeks fold out and to see as the games come ahead now, because they're going to come thick and fast, and players are going to have to be ready.
Everything, FA Cup finals,
it's interesting.
You've got Champions Leagues, obviously the end of the league and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be fun as always. But do you have anything else you want to add on Chelsea? By the way,
no, that's it, bro.
Is there anything that you want to? What do you want Lampard to do for the next few weeks? Obviously, I know you're going to say win.
I want him to. No, it's not the win. It's just to be a bit consistent with his team. I don't want to see a Graham Potter style of trying all the players. I know there's a lot of players there, but you don't have to play them all at the same time.
No, of course not.
You know what I mean? Stick to the same players. Stick to this. Okay, don't stick to the 11 that you had at Wolves. Play Chilwell. Play Gallagher. Put a different defender, because with 3 at the back seems to be Chelsea's best play. Or if you're going to play 4 at the back, still put Chilwell in there and play the 3 midfielders. Got Connor, Enzo, and Kante. Kante has to play. But what I want to see more than anything, just consistency with the starting 11. Because then that way it's easier to make little changes to it and improve it bit by bit. But the main thing it comes down to, I don't care how we win at the minute, mate, it's just to put some wins under our belt. Because I'm looking at Chelsea here, the form is literally green, grey, green for W, grey for D, and this is on the BBC website. The draw's grey, and then it's L for red. So it's green, grey, red, green, grey, red. So out of 5 games, we've won once.
Yeah,
and you're like, come on, man.
It doesn't make for good reading. It doesn't make for good reading. And in terms of your best midfield, is going to be Kante, Enzo, and Kovacic. I think that's your best midfield.
But the 3 of them don't have to play together all the time. If you start winning, then I don't know, bring him back on.
Then you can change. Then you can see, okay, Kante can do this, but Connor can do this.
Kante will be the same midfielder, wouldn't he? Kante would play like the party role, that Makaleli role, that what's his name, Casemiro, and so on, and allow Enzo Fernandez to go forward a little bit. Enzo Fernandez can do that role as well and pass and move a little bit better than Jorginho could. He was a bit more mobile than Jorginho. Massively, right?
I agree.
Massively,
I think with Enzo, if he does that Xhaka role, he can do that Xhaka role very well.
That's it, yeah. Like sort of be in that midfield to break things down, but then run up and support the attack. And, he can have that security by playing N'Golo Kante there. Like, who can you be playing better in that position than the guy who won the World Cup, who won the Premier League with 2 different teams, Champions League,
legend. Premier League
pretty much everything that there is to win.
Yeah,
absolutely. So,
there's no debate about that. But I think he needs to be more consistent with his team. I totally agree with you on that. It's something that, with Chelsea, it's almost, the 3 at the back has become Chelsea's DNA, and the players that have been bought over the years, they've been bought to fill those positions for the 3 at the back, 5 at the back. So, Lampard, as much as you'd like to think, you've got good ideas, you need to stick to the DNA of the team that you captain. You're captain of this team. You know what went well and what didn't. So, I just feel like a bit more consistency from Lampard, but it's maybe a bit too late right now. I don't think they're in sort of relegation battle or anything like that. I don't think they'll get to that.
We're nothing nowhere near there. And
I don't
just the thing
to
to add on quickly, because you reminded me of like the Times and their DNA and stuff like that. Yeah, like it's good if he wants to play this formation. You're right, stick to the DNA with 5 at the back, 3 at the back, whichever way it is, 5 defending, 3 attacking. But if he's going to do 4 with 4 at the back, then play 2 midfielders. Don't play 3 with Conor Gallagher. Then play the formation of 4-2-3-1. Allow João Felix to be in the middle because he keeps drifting all the time. Put Hakim Ziyech on the right and a Mudryk on the left, or Pulisic or Madueke or Sterling. There's so many winging players that we can have. Just play one of them there and put João Felix. See the fact that he wants to play in the middle. Havertz wants to play in the middle. Okay, Havertz, you're centre forward. Felix, you're cam. You are the 10. You can be the little player. But listen, I don't want you to take, as I mentioned earlier, not too long on the ball. Get it, get rid. Get it, get rid.
Yeah,
and play Mudryk and Sterling either side as wingers.
I think interchanging with between Felix and Havertz, I think that would be a good way to do it as well. Because you've got that sort of extra midfielder in front of the 2, which you'll be your Enzos and your Kante. So I think consistency is definitely something that has to happen. But let's see what happens in Champions League. You could go there and smash them because that's what happens.
We have done that in the past. We have done that in the past. We've gone there and we've played very, very well, and we beat them last time there. I think we beat them 3-2, but because we lost 3-1 at our ground, that goal by Rodrigo towards the end just kind of was a kick to the gut.
Yeah,
but
it's deflation.
It's what it is. It's what it is. Knockout football. That's why we love footy. And can I just add on that as well, by the way, why we love footy? I watched Wrexham versus Notts County. I don't know if you were going to say it.
I knew it.
Wow. Right? Wow.
I knew it because even, Rob McElhaney came out on Twitter and he said, I can't believe I hated football for that long. I can't believe, he said, I can't believe that that I've hated football or I didn't like football for this long. And, it's something that he's seen himself now. This is why we love the sport.
No, but that stuff there, like that, it doesn't even matter who does the owners. I know the owners are like Hollywood A-list, but even if that happened, I don't know, Chelsea versus Man United, Arsenal versus Spurs, something like that. Penalty kick at the very end, and what's on the line as well, first and second, and the way to save it was just honestly, it was fantastic. Incredible. It was fantastic to watch it. I watched the highlights. I didn't watch the match. I watched the highlights. I saw the interviews afterwards as well. Ryan Reynolds was obviously flabbergasted, lost for words. He's like, I don't know.
Over the moon.
Yeah. Oh, mate.
He turned into Deadpool all of a sudden.
What a great game that was as well. But anyway, so moving on to the winning side of London.
Well,
Spurs.
Love it. You know what? Let's just end the podcast right now.
Yeah.
Can't believe you actually said that word on this podcast. But,
well, I wanted to touch on Spurs before I come to you, right? And referee decisions. What was going on? The penalty kicks that Brighton should have had. I don't know if you saw.
Oh, God, yeah. Sorry,
Mitoma got kicked by Højbjerg, stood on. Goals disallowed. I don't understand why.
There were so many bad decisions.
I don't want to start a conspiracy theory, right? But I think Daniel Levy's made some payments to the Referees Association.
At this point,
small donation.
Yeah, I think at this point he definitely has, because he's kind of realised, oh shit, we're going to lose top 4 here, just the way that we've been playing. But it was just bad, and the whole De Zerbi and what's his face, the Tottenham manager currently, can't remember his name.
I forgot his name. Yeah. The guy who took over from.
That's
I
it.
think
Yeah,
he was his number 2. Yeah,
Santini or something like whatever it was.
something like that. Yeah.
That guy, you saw that little debate that they had, and then my man was looking as if like, oh no, I've got nothing to do with that. And then when he got booked, it was like, oh, what, me?
He was
Like,
clueless. I saw that. Yeah,
you
why me?
started
Yeah,
this. Yeah, you
yeah.
did this. You know what I mean? Don't act all
You
innocent when the
instigated, bro. What are you doing?
basically, when because you've got a brother, and when you were kids, you probably did this thing where it's like you've done something. But then you kind of blame it on your brother, and then when your mum walks in, you're like, "What? I don't know what he's talking about. I didn't do it." But you're both going to get slapped because that's just the way it works.
That's right. Yeah, that's
just the way it works. That's probably the best analogy I can bring up. But no, it was shocking from the refs, and I think even Shearer said it himself. Like this week, the Brighton manager. Or the Brighton staff in general, they're going to get apologies from the referees because
that's not good enough. Though
it's
brutal point, isn't it? Like you lose 3 points in the Prem now, especially when it's so tight. Where is Brighton? Brighton is 7th, right? So they've took that W. If they'd won there, they would have gone 6th. They would have been Europa League rather than Europe Conference League if the season ended right now. Don't get me wrong; they've still got 2 games in hand above Villa and Spurs, but what's that? 7 points behind Spurs, and then if they beat Spurs, they would not have been 7 points behind Spurs. They could have been 5th, fighting with Man United for top 4. So it's not good enough. The apologies, and the thing is with VAR as well. Like I watched it, and I was like, "Yeah, that's a penalty," and then they were like, "Referee waved it on," and I was like, hold on a minute, like there was no one at VAR just looking at what I saw, like literally just rewind live TV, just go back 10 seconds and just have a look at that. And it's just like, it's baffling. I'd be fuming if I was a Chelsea fan. If that happened to Chelsea, I'd be fuming.
I mean, I was fuming for Brighton, to be fair, because, my hate for Tottenham, but you're right. It's like you said, it's too late to apologise. It's like giving, in F1, for example, it's like giving the guy who's starting 17th, giving him a 10 grid place penalty. It's like, what the hell is the point? He was nowhere near in contention anyway. So why are you doing this?
Yeah, why are you doing that? Yeah,
it's not. You absolutely agree. It is not good enough from the referees association. And there was I think there was some more controversy throughout the weekend. But again, because it was such a crazy game on Sunday, I switched everything off and just concentrated on the Arsenal-Liverpool game. Liverpool-Arsenal game.
No, don't blame me. Let's go straight into that great segue into it. So let's have a chat. So how are you feeling after the weekend?
I think a little bit of confidence. I've lost a little bit of confidence is just because of that performance in the second half. Like I know the games, football games, they'll have their periods, they'll have cycles within the game. But I just feel like, when Liverpool turned it on, they really turned it on. And we were pegged back so much that even the changes that Arteta made were to accommodate the fact that we were getting pinned back. The fact they took Odegaard off, it brought Kivior on. It's like, this is not. Do you remember?
I felt like that was a wrong decision to bring Odegaard off.
Do you remember 2021 F1 final when Michael Massey made that decision, and then you hear Toto Wolff go, "No, Michael, no."
Yeah, and smashing his headphones. Yeah,
exactly the same thing, because that was just unnecessary, and the fact that you didn't bring Tierney on earlier that would have avoided. I personally feel that second goal from Liverpool would have been avoided if Tierney came on earlier, because we were handling the pressure well, but then everything changed. Once you take Odegaard off, you've got no outlet. You've got no one to. You
didn't have somebody in the middle to move the ball, so somebody in that 10 to spray it left and right.
Yeah,
no, I totally agree with you. What I really enjoyed from that game, especially first half, was how unselfish Xhaka was. The amount of times he was just overlapping and running forward to put an extra person in the box freed up so much space for Martinelli, so much space for Odegaard. Liverpool did not know what to do. I know they're trying to accommodate it by putting Trent in the midfield. So they thought, like, okay, let's do it here, because Arsenal usually like to go middle and then go wide. So trying to stop it as soon as it comes into the middle. But no, Xhaka for me was fantastic. So unselfish. I do think once the game turned on its head is once the crowd got going, is when Xhaka started stepping up to Trent and the challenges that he tried to go for. And now I'm not blaming him for this, but sometimes they can go against you because 60,000 people started piping up.
I think I see what you're saying, and at first when I was watching it, I thought exactly the same thing. I was like, oh no, Xhaka's going to just do bad here. But I feel the game kind of changed, or you kind of saw which way the game was going to go after Ben White got that yellow card earlier on in the first half. And I thought, shit, because if he's got that yellow card now, he's not going to go in 100% or even 80% into tackles. And I feel like that ruined it. And once Xhaka got his yellow card, which I don't think it was merited. I'll be honest with you. I don't think it was a merited yellow card. But either way, it happened.
Yeah,
I think that's the fact. Those are the factors that changed the game because we were doing so well. I mean, yeah, Xhaka had his little heat moment, but shit, what else is new, right? Xhaka always has that. But the crowd, like you said, the crowd woke up. They were all over Arsenal's back. They were like, nah. You know what I mean? They were just
that's it. For every challenge, then it just became a thing.
Everything.
Every time Liverpool tried to go in for a challenge, they were just like, he was going in with 60,000 rows.
That's it.
I felt the goal fell a little bit. Like obviously and this is the thing when you're a winning team, very not soft, but like I want to use the word lucky on this, but then I want to follow it up with you make your own luck.
Yeah.
When you're looking to be champions, everything seems to go for you. Yeah. Because Robbo slipped first of all, so you're like, okay, and then the rest of the match he never slipped again. And you're like, right. Saka's run was fantastic, so maybe that's why he slipped. You don't know whether he's going left or right. What's Saka doing here? And then he just slipped. But then to track back and then to kind of like hit, what's his name? I think he hit Van Dijk and he went straight to Martinelli's feet because he was trying to go across somewhere else. Little things like that. But, when you're looking to fight for the title, little things like that tend to go for you and you make your own luck. But like you said, game of two halves. First half, you were very, very good. You were dynamic. You were moving. You were keeping the ball. You were putting pressure on them. You were singled out players for Liverpool who weren't very good on the ball, like Trent, like Fabinho. Yeah. Van Dijk didn't have much time on the. Fabinho was awful. He had a terrible game.
Awful. I don't know how he never got a yellow card, by the way, or a red card when he just absolutely kicked the
That was dirty. That was dirty.
Kicked the shit out of him.
I think I put on the chat as well. That was like naughty. I think that was like naughty. Yeah, it was on Saka.
Yeah, nasty challenge.
And even Salah was quiet, wasn't he? Gabriel kept him very, very quiet. He didn't do anything.
He did, but I feel like, maybe because Gabriel obviously had that responsibility, Salah's a fast player. Whether he's, on top form or not, he's a fast player and he will drain your energy. And Zinchenko was clearly not the guy to keep Salah at bay.
Zinchenko wasn't even there, was he?
I don't remember what Zinchenko was. The only time I remember Zinchenko was when he got nutmegged right at the end, which is like, you shouldn't even be in this game right now. But obviously, remember when we won at the Emirates this season against Liverpool, we had Tomiyasu there, and Tomiyasu just stopped Salah in his tracks. It was like, all right, nope, this is it. You ain't going any further than this. And that's great.
That's Liverpool team, isn't it? Like the only way for them to do something is having Saka in the team. And so if you nullify Salah, sorry, not Saka, Salah, they've got nothing going forward. Because you saw what Darwin Núñez did. He was 1-on-1 with the keeper and he hit it directly at him. Like, what was he doing? Like, how was he not even chipped, trying to go for the near? What was the thing is with Darwin Núñez? He went through and I was sat with my dad and I was like, oh. There's literally a part of me as I was doing that and hyping it up like get ready, anticipation here, what's he going to do? Back in my mind I'm thinking like he's going to do nothing. Like he's literally going to do nothing. And to my predicted, I was right. Yeah. Like
you've heard Larry
nothing.
You've heard Larry on NESportscast.
You've heard him many times. Yes, NESportscast. That's where it's at. Reliable sources.
I don't make
guys.
it up. I don't make it up. I actually see the game. But no, I think obviously the first goal was really good. Even from the first starting minutes, we were great because Martinelli just drove directly at Trent down the byline. A little bit lucky that he couldn't get that ball into the middle of the box. Obviously went for a corner and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But from the first moment, I was like, "Ooh, all right, I like this. I like this." I felt confident. Then Ben White got a yellow card. That's when I was like, "Oh shit, this is not going to be that good." I don't think it's going to be that good. To be honest, I didn't think they were going to come back, to draw the game. But obviously, this was in the first half, and then obviously you watch the second half, you think, yeah, they deserve at least a draw from this match because
I think second half as well, though, didn't they? They stopped Martinelli. Konate was fantastic on Martinelli. He was very, very good.
Man of the match, as far as I'm concerned.
Good.
Konate was very good,
excellent. Yeah,
it was just little things like that. For example, obviously, like I said, every game has its own cycles. Unless you're a Man City, then you've just got your own cycle. But every game has its cycles, and I feel like we exhausted ourselves in the first half, which maybe we shouldn't have. Again, hindsight, maybe we shouldn't have exhausted ourselves that much because Trent was very weak. Van Dijk was very, very weak. Was it Robertson from on the other side? He wasn't at his best. So the first half, confidence, and then that happened, like I said, with Ben White. And then after that, I just thought, he's going to be careful here. And you can't even take him off because we've got no one else to replace him. We've got no one else. And that I think that has more to do with the fact that we drew that game more than, the game turning during Xhaka's little heated moment, if you will.
Yeah, no, I can see why you say that as well. I think also as well, tactically, Klopp changed. Like going back to the Lampard one, he didn't so much allow Trent to have Martinelli. He just went to Konate. I want you to drop.
Yeah.
And then somebody in midfield, Fabinho, can you come in and cover for
Trent
Konate being out of position? And then Trent had that freedom to do, because on the ball, Trent was fantastic. He was playing brilliant passes, he was running, and obviously he assisted the equaliser as well. And that's what Trent's very good at. But defensively is what lets him down. Going backwards, going back to the other way against his own to protect his goal.
Klopp changed it.
Very, very weak. But that's what elite managers do. See the error, change it, adapt it, and get the result.
This is something that Arteta can learn from, to be fair, because as much as he comes out and goes, I think Arteta can come out and say, we played well and blah, blah, blah and all this, but it's like, look, you need to, at the end of the day, you need to obviously, put your hands up and be like, do you know what? Zinchenko should have come off a lot earlier. Odegaard probably shouldn't have come off. What's he taking him off for? Like, what? We've got, the next game is on Saturday or Sunday, I think, against West Ham. Whatever. Yeah. Why are you taking off Odegaard? I don't get it. Like, if with Odegaard there, it provides more creativity, more of a technical player, and I don't think Trent would have had that sort of freedom. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he would have. And Trent turned into that Zinchenko role, and he played it fantastic. I remember he had a couple of crosses in the box behind the player, behind our defense. I was like, oh shit. I've cursed this guy out so much, and then what does he go and do? He goes and assists the goal, the goal that drew the match. You know what I mean? Like, this is why I don't want to talk shit about players anymore. I don't, like with Nunes.
No, you should, because obviously that's what we're here for. But you did Nunes, and look, he did.
I didn't say shit about Nunes.
Did he get the equaliser?
Was it Nunes that got the equaliser? No, it was Firmino.
Oh, for Bobby, Bobby Firmino.
Hey, I don't know if it's, I can't remember which episode it was, but I've said this, probably the one when you asked me what the prediction was, and I said, if Bobby Firmino starts, that guy's going to score against us, and he does, and he did.
He seems to score every game, didn't he?
He loves it. He absolutely loves it, and I can't even be mad at him because he's such a great player.
He's fantastic. I don't know why he didn't start. I really like Bobby Firmino. He's very good on the ball. He's calm. He literally would have, they would have won the match. The penalty as well, by the way, just touching on that, very weak from Salah. I don't know why he dragged it so far wide.
By the way,
I was thinking about this, right? Penalty takers.
Yeah.
If it's a dying moments like that, they should just go to the side that they're the strongest with. So let's say if I'm a right-footed player, it's going to go to the right of the keeper because I'm just going to leather it into that corner. I'm just going to hit it as hard as I can. There's no way the keeper can react that quickly. So that's what I'm going to do, yeah? I don't like this if there's so much like side-footed, opposite side, across the body. Not across the body, sorry. The way that I'm facing, go to the keeper's left, for example, as you can see with my hand gestures as we're recording this. I just want to be able to see players just smashing it in, man. I just want to be like, listen, you take the shot. Like, it's your best chance for you to score. When you don't hit the target, I think to myself, oh, come on, mate. Like, if the keeper saves it like the Wrexham one, you're like, do you know what? You tried, he guessed it, nothing you can do. Whereas if you don't hit the target at all, like, come on, like, what? But I'm not a Liverpool fan, so I don't really care. You're on mute.
Amateur hour, obviously, standard. Welcome back to NESportscast. No, with Salah, I mean, that moment, the penalty came in like the 53rd or 54th minute. So it wasn't even the dying game. So he had no pressure on him. There was no pressure. It was 2-1 with a lot of the game to go yet. So obviously I was happy. I thought at that moment, I was like, okay, this isn't going to go Liverpool's way. Maybe we can nick another goal and just shut this game down. But then everything changed. I mean, he brought in Thiago, Nunes, and then Firmino. Those are the change. I mean, obviously Firmino came 78th minute and then he scores. But the Thiago moment, I think Curtis, obviously Jones coming off. Jones was poor, by the way. I didn't rate him at all. Thiago came on. As much as you are not a big fan of Thiago, for whatever reason you have that you harbor hate for him.
Yeah.
He changed the match. He changed the game. He provided that freedom for Trent to move forward and for Fabinho to sort of go back a little bit and be like, oh, do you know what? I'm going to stick here with Konate and look after the defense. And that's what they did.
Which they did, because you guys were hitting the counters then. So Konate was just very quickly going on to Martinelli.
That's it.
And
Fabinho, Konate, Van
Dijk.
Dijk.
Winning the ball back very quickly, and then they would apply the pressure again. Your out ball was Martinelli. Yeah. He lost it, back Liverpool on the pressure again. That's what made the game so interesting, to be honest with you, because it's always the case. When one team wins, they're going to retrieve, put a bit of a defensive block, and then hit on the counter, which players like Arsenal, Chelsea, who've got these quick players, Man United and so on. But credit to Liverpool, just continue to keep going and keep going and keep going. And I hear what you're saying about Arteta. Tierney should have came on a lot sooner. You got 2-0 up, bring Tierney on. But
I mean, it was
both live and learn.
Tierney came on the 88th minute, which was a few minutes after the goal was scored, and
Pointless.
he was.
Literally
I saw
pointless.
him; he was ready to come on before that moment, and I mean, I can understand Trossard coming on. I thought Trossard was brilliant. He's brilliant. That's a good substitution to make, to be fair, because of his history at Anfield. You know, he always scores at Anfield. Great. Come on a bit earlier, not the 80th minute. Jesus, I'm just looking at the stats here, by the way. From the second half, the only thing that I can say that we did was Ramsdale getting a yellow card for time wasting. That's the only thing.
I can't stand that. I saw that.
Only
And
thing we
honestly,
did.
do you know what? I understand why he did it, but I just hate that.
The
I
dark
hate
arts.
time wasting so early.
Yeah.
It's so early. I can understand it like 88th minute, 85th minute.
Take the yellow.
But
Take the yellow.
some of them did it like 47th minute, second half, like
53rd minute.
53rd
minute.
I was going to say 50th minute. So 53rd minute yellow card for what? Time wasting.
That's it. I think that will definitely sometimes that will work against you as well, because you've just pissed off the other team to the point where they're like, oh, you want a time waste? All right, let's see how you time waste this. And they came back. But I'm just saying, from the 53rd minute, from that yellow card to the 80th minute when Trossard came on, Jesus didn't do anything. Nothing. We were pegged back. Bring Trossard on earlier. Why are you not bringing Trossard on earlier? He's got the energy. He can do kind of what Jesus does. And he can finish as well, so give him that chance. Yeah. For me, I told you that what changed the match is 2 yellow cards to Xhaka and Ben White. Ben White was 23rd minute, by the way. That was 23rd
that was early,
minute.
but I think he deserved that tackle. It was a dirty tackle. I can't remember top of my head, but it wasn't.
It wasn't as bad as.
Was it like somebody was trying to break an attack? Somebody was running past him. I think. No. I can't remember.
He went in. To be fair to him, he got the ball in that challenge, but it was the follow through that he got the yellow card.
Yes, it was the legs. That's right. Because the referee even did the leg ones. Yeah. But and that's the thing you can't do no more, can you? That's right. Something you can't.
But then Konate did exactly the same thing to Jesus. Didn't get a yellow card. So,
that always goes against you, doesn't it? Exactly. And this is what I mean about referees and unfairness and bias, because the same happened with Chelsea as well. Like, I think, what was his name? Dawson came and kicked the ball away while Conor Gallagher had his foot in front of the ball, kicked Conor Gallagher's foot, and then he went down screaming. Conor Gallagher got a yellow card, free kick to pressure nullified, free kick to Wolves. And you're like,
you have to start all over.
Did you even see what happened there? Like, he kicked me. Like, Conor Gallagher was like, I didn't kick him. And what I'm trying to get at is, when you're away from home, some decisions like that you're not going to get. No,
and that's it. I think
that's not fair, but
no, it's just the way it is. I'm not going to sit here and complain, because if that happened in our favour, damn, do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And you know what I mean.
So that's the way I look at it. But yeah, for me, it was the Ben White, the Xhaka, and the Odegaard coming off. Them substitutions: Trossard, Odegaard. And
when did Odegaard come off? I can't remember what time he came off.
80th minute. So he came off with Jesus. So both came off at the same time. So again, that showed Klopp when Klopp must have seen Odegaard coming off for a Kiwior, for a defender. Klopp was like, oh, mint. Bobby's going on. Bobby's going on, and that's what he did. Bobby went on because he realised Klopp was like, well, Kiwior hasn't played that much in the Premier League or at all. He's not experienced. Bobby Firmino's going to run circles around him, and unfortunately, that's what he did. He did that. So yeah, those are the decisions that went against us. Even though we played so well in that first half, the second half, I blame. Are you
disappointed, by the way, with it being a 2-0 up and not coming away with the 3 points?
Yeah,
not shutting up shop away from home at Anfield when you're 2-0 up.
Oh yeah,
it might be early, but just doing something.
It's not even about the thing. It's not even about shutting up shop. It's just like, where is that? Where is the fight that you had in the first half? Do you know what I mean? But again, look at Klopp's changes. 60th minute. It was Thiago and Nunes. Okay, Nunes didn't do much, but he was a threat.
Yeah,
if he had a better finish,
it could have been
4-2.
Yeah, it could have been 4-2. Yeah.
So again, he made the change. That's where I want. That's where I want Arteta to learn a little bit more from these managers like a Klopp, because Klopp's been there. He's done that. He's been under pressure before. He knows how to play Arsenal at home. He's been the manager for 6 years? Do you know what I mean? So, nice. 84. Nah, look. For everyone listening, Rick just showed me a potential bid from Liverpool for Bellingham for £84 million. Look. I don't think so, mate. I don't think so.
That's probably a loan fee.
Yeah, someone's dreaming out there. Someone needs to wake the hell up and realize what the hell's going on. But yeah, so I think definitely disappointed, because it was something we had it in our hands. Genuinely, we had it in our hands, and it just they took it away. They absolutely took it away. And this is what I'll compare it to, by the way. And I've got nothing else to add after this. I was in Whitby maybe a year ago or something like that.
Can we just let know for the listeners across the pond? Whitby is a seaside town in
they're not Whitby.
northeast of the UK.
They know fish and chips.
Well, the Americans might not.
Of course. So I went to Whitby last year with my wife, and I went. There's always this like little butchers that I go to get like a little pork pie, right? Because I just love them, fresh made, love it. Anyway, went there, took one bite. Not even shitting you on this. I took one bite and I turned to talk to my missus. Next thing I know is a freaking seagull took it from my hand. A seagull took food from my hand. So that's the only analogy I can use again. For that match, we had it in our hands, and then Liverpool came. If it was Brighton, that analogy would have been perfect. By the way,
you used a bird as well. Liverpool is still a bird. Although you use the seagull, I don't know what kind of bird it is, but it's a bird on their crest.
It's an eagle or something, is it? Is it
I don't know exactly.
Or a hawk or something, or a falcon, whatever it is.
I don't know.
But
Liverpool fans get in touch.
If we were playing Brighton, that would have been the perfect analogy because of the seagulls.
Fun, yeah.
But that's the only way I can use it and to describe it, because that's how I felt. And I was disappointed because I was like, I had 3 more bites out of that. Wanted something from this. So yeah, I've got nothing else to add on Arsenal. It was a great match.
Well, just on the games ahead. So the games you've got going, West Ham away. How are you feeling for West Ham away? Southampton at home the weekend after, which is a Friday night kickoff. So you play Sunday, then play Friday. Ooh. Then obviously that big game on Wednesday night against Man City.
So we play Friday against Southampton. Oh.
Yeah. So Chelsea. Sorry. West Ham away Sunday. Early kickoff Sunday, 2:00 early afternoon. Evening kickoff with Southampton, of course, because it's Friday night football at home. Yeah. And then City away Wednesday night, Chelsea at home Saturday 5:30 kickoff. So we got Newcastle away. Oh my God!
So we got City on Wednesday, and then we got Chelsea on Saturday.
Yeah.
Meh.
And then Newcastle away the following Sunday.
I'm just going to make noises because I don't even know
Chelsea,
what to say.
I don't even think it'll be a big game because it's a derby and surely the Chelsea players are going to be up for it. But and also not to let you beat us again, to have some pride and be like, we ruined their title chances like we did to Spurs against Leicester that time. When the two of them were competing when Leicester won it. So hopefully Chelsea turn up to put a performance in. But as for me, I still think you're too strong for us. I don't know. But then again, I like to see Reece James against Martinelli. I like to see Chilwell versus Saka. I like Enzo against Xhaka, Odegaard, and Felix against what's your boy called in the midfield? Partey. You know what I mean? And up top, we're lacking up top, but hopefully we can offer something. But the big one is obviously Man City away, and Newcastle away for me.
Yeah, I think the West Ham match, we'll just stick to that for now, and then obviously on Sunday we'll do some more predictions for the rest of the week. But the West Ham, because I need to gather my thoughts, educated guesses and all that stuff. But with West Ham away, obviously they're in desperate need for a win, and it's going to be a tricky match. I'll be honest with you. I'll be fair. Right now, sitting here, I wouldn't be surprised if that game's a draw, like a 1-1 or a 2-2.
If it's a draw, do you think that's your title chances gone?
I feel, and again, this is just me being full disclaimer to you and the rest of the listeners. I kind of had that feeling once we drew with Liverpool. Like I even said to my dad, I was like, "This is it. This is like I think it's slipped through our fingers now. I know I shouldn't be saying that, but I'm just trying to be realistic. I listen to a lot of Arsenal podcasts and they're like, "Oh no, we're still going to do this. We're going to battle this." Look, mate, just watch the Liverpool match again, and then you tell me if we perform like that against any of the teams that you've just mentioned.
Perform like that against Newcastle, you're losing. I'll be honest with you. You perform like that against Newcastle away, you're losing. It's St James's Park. You think Anfield was bad? St James's Park is going to be on par against that, especially when they're third in the league.
Yeah, and they've got something to fight for,
and massive players. Yeah,
I'm scared of Joelinton. I'll be honest with you.
Joelinton, he's won. Bruno in the middle, not just massive in the height, but even named.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Isaac has been fantastic for them. Yeah. Isaac up top has been amazing.
Yeah, and the fact that Saliba may not play any of these games because of a back injury, and Tomiyasu out as well, it's going to be difficult, man. So I think I'll be honest right now, sitting here, maybe change my mind when we do another podcast during the week, but right now I can see the West Ham game being a draw because I've got a funny feeling that the players are going to be deflated because they had it right there in their hands and it got taken away from them against Liverpool.
It's all right. We'll come back on Thursday night after the football finishes, Champions League and Europa League finishes. Yes. We'll do a quick recap then.
Yes, definitely.
I'm sure we've got more to add on Lampard.
Oh yeah,
but, let's have some predictions. Let's do some predictions. By the way, before we move, anything else to add on Arsenal? Or
no, I think I've said everything I need to say.
Yeah. Should we do some predictions for the Champions League and Europa League? Because there's not many games. So, what are you thinking? Benfica, Inter?
I'm gonna go with an Inter win, but I think it's gonna be like a 1-0.
1-0 Inter, yeah. I'm gonna go Benfica. I'm gonna go 1-0 Benfica on that one.
Good shout. I like it.
Let me make a note of these so we can talk about them.
Let me get some.
Are you gonna do it or should I?
Yeah, I'm just gonna get up the matches.
The matches.
I'll get up the matches.
So you're getting it.
Champions League, yeah. So we got Benfica Inter. I'm going 1-0 Inter. You're going 1-0 Benfica. Big match, obviously. City versus Bayern.
That's a very big game.
I'm going to go with a 2-0 Bayern.
Really?
Yeah. At the Etihad, I'm going to go with a 2-0 Bayern. I think Tuchel's going to shaft some mother out there.
I hope he does, I really hope he does, because
I hope he does.
You know the love that I have for Tuchel. In a way, I want Chelsea to win the league, but I also want City to win the league. Sorry, I want Chelsea to win the Champions League. Chelsea, City, Bayern for Tuchel. It's just so difficult. Obviously, I want my team to win it first, but out of the Bayern and City, I'd love to see Bayern winning.
Yeah.
And then beat Chelsea, Tuchel, Bayern, Chelsea. But yeah, anyway.
That's a great matchup as well, if that happens.
Anyway.
But
there was a rumour when the Champions League draw came out, Ancelotti messaged Paolo Maldini and said to him, I'll see you at Istanbul.
Ooh.
Because obviously the semi-finals is whoever wins City, Bayern plays Chelsea, Real.
Yeah.
And then Benfica Inter will be AC Napoli. So 2-0 for you. Wow, Bayern, my guy. Wow.
I think that's what I'm going to go with.
I think I'm going to go 2-1 City for me. 2-1 City on that.
2-1 City. That's fair. That's a fair score. I'm just going from historically Guardiola with any team apart from Barcelona in the Champions League.
I totally understand that. Totally get that.
And then tomorrow, obviously, we've got actually two big games tomorrow. We've got AC Milan Napoli, which I'll be honest, I think Napoli are going to wipe the floor with them at the San Siro.
What are you thinking?
I'm going to go with like a 3-1 or a 3-0 Napoli.
3-1 Napoli.
Kvaratskhelia, I think he's going to run some circles around the whole defense. To be fair,
I'm hoping, and I think is a different thing, but I think it might be a draw. I think it'll probably be a 2-2, 1-1. I think Napoli AC, so I'm going to go with a draw, 2-2 draw.
That's fair. And then obviously we've got the big game of tomorrow is going to be Real versus Chelsea.
I'm going to go for a 2-1 Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea at the Bernabeu.
At the Bernabeu,
yeah. The Bernabeu. That's some ballsy. That's a ballsy answer. I'll tell you. That's a ballsy 2-1
answer. Or a draw. I can't see who's losing. Or just get slapped 4-0.
Yeah, I was just about to say I'm gonna go with like a 4-1 or something, but for Real. I know. I've always stuck up for Chelsea. I've always been nice in my predictions.
This guy.
Yeah, I usually goes the other way. So when I say Chelsea win, they lose. But when I say they lose, they win. So
who knows?
Take this as a good thing. Take this as a good thing.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it'd be interesting to watch. So that's obviously that's the rest of the next 2 days. We're going to be busy watching the Champions League anyway. So cool. But obviously we'll come back. We'll be back on Thursday evening or Friday evening, whichever one. For obviously because I know you've been off for the past couple of weeks from work and stuff. So we've got different time schedules. Mine of
leisure at the minute. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. You just
on holiday, and for the American listeners, vacation. So holiday, they'll probably be like, which one?
The holidays? No, the holidays are not coming. It's vacation. But yeah, so we'll be back at the end of the week with another brand new episode. But thank you so much for being here, for listening, and we will catch you on the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay alert. Goodbye from me.
Love that. Goodbye from me as well.